독학. 갑시다.
Let's try this again.
자세히 봐봐.
You know, I think we might be able...
요거랑 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 요거. 짠.
That's gotta be right.
Nothing. Maybe it's broken.
고장이
Wait.
났나?
Do you hear that?
뭔 소리요? 오, 열렸어. 오, 화났는데요, 이거? 성이 나버렸어.
Are we gonna go in?
그러니까.
Yeah. But there's a couple of things I want to do first.
먼저 해줄 게 있어? 이걸 클리어를 하고 가야 되는 거야. 모든 용의자 혐의 조사, 모든 단서 수집, 셀리와의 대화, 범죄 영장. 셀리, 일단 혐의를 안 밝힌 게 여기 이게 하라 펠릭스랑 얘 안 밝히지 않았나요? 그쵸? 펠릭스 씨 잠깐 저 좀 봅시다. 안녕하세요 펠릭스 씨. 펠릭스 씨한테 뭘 물어봐야 될까? 이 감기.
What is it?
We don't know. We were really hoping you would.
My friends, shed your hope and let it fall free like sandbags from a hot air balloon.
That's the most depressing idiom I've ever heard.
우울한 말이래. 이거 물어볼까?
Now this is still in very good condition, apart from the crack, of course.
What about those shards on the inside of the horn?
이리 좋은 뭐예요?
Looks like somebody broke a glass and was trying to conceal the evidence. Cunning.
뭘 물어봐야 될까? 열매.
That looks like it might belong to Fitz.
이거?
These drawings are quite precious. I'm surprised Flora let you see them.
What happened to the bird? Did it die?
I don't know. Seems likely though, doesn't it? That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
뭘 물어봐야 될까요? 그래서 일단 한번 아들.
Fitz? I don't trust him. He's slippery. Never commits to anything.
그러니까.
Brain like an onion.
An onion?
Did you two have an argument?
No, but my daughter doesn't like him at all. And I trust Fiona's judgment entirely. She's a very vigilant young woman.
뭔 말인지 모르겠어.
Uncommonly skilled as an artist. But Freya was so much more than her talent.
역시
She
재능이야.
helped me get started with my own painting, you know. It taught me what she knew about wood carving, too.
목공해.
Tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yes, especially recently.
How are you
Well.
related to Freya?
Somewhat distantly, as it happens. My father, Lord Fellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all. There's a family tree in the Grand Hall. You should take a look at it.
What about her inheritance?
Freya's parents died when she was around 3 years old.
엄청 일찍
She came to live
돌아왔구나.
here shortly afterwards.
Nobody left her a thing?
I'm afraid not. She had no formal claim over anything at Tangle Tower.
Tangle Tower. 이러면? 오
There's
됐다.
something about Felix's painting supplies.
오 이분도 그거였네.
Something
사람이한테 그런
suspicious.
그거였나 보네요.
Let's ask him about it.
가자. 그만 자요.
So, about this paint we found in your room.
Nothing suspicious about it. I used it to paint, obviously.
색칠할
Totally
때.
normal thing to do.
We never said it was suspicious.
그러니까요.
Come on then, out with it. What exactly are you accusing me of?
이거 올바른 색이 아닙니다.
It's not the right color.
You sure about that?
Not entirely.
Come on then, out with it. What exactly are you accusing me of?
당신의 물감통이
It's
아니에요.
not your paint pot. Did you take it from somewhere else?
What on earth? It's definitely mine. I even have proof.
무슨 증거요?
Look, the lid matches the ones on all my other paint pots. End of discussion.
That's not the end of the
안
discussion.
끝났는데요?
We need a clue to compare with Felix's red paint. Something to prove who it actually belongs to.
사진. 이거겠죠? 이걸 것 같은데?
Let's take a closer look at this.
보자고. 요거랑 요거. 도난당했다. 이건가? 그쵸, 유리색도 다르고 뚜껑도 다르네요. 이거지 않을까요?
Freya's red paint pot
Oh,
was stolen and
역시
replaced
원트,
with
원트.
Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it.
That red paint is from Freya's supplies, not yours.
당신이
Swapping the
아니에요.
lids doesn't hide what you did.
Why are you bothering me about paint
왜
anyway?
귀찮게 굴어요?
None of this is connected to your murder.
맞아요, 맞아요. 이거를 가득 채운 것은 피이다. 그 후 잠겨졌다.
This red paint pot was somehow
아닌가?
almost.
하나만요?
Maybe just change one thing.
아, 가득 채워진 거 아니고. 이거를 사용해 가득 채운 거
This red paint pot. Nope.
아니고. 프레이 아니냐? 아닌가?
This red paint almost.
뭐지?
Maybe just change.
이건가?
This red
아,
paint
이거다.
pot was somehow filled with blood before Freya used it to paint Flora.
Oh, that's definitely something. Right, fine. Here's the story.
그래봐요,
I
이야기해봐요.
was busy working on a project when I suddenly realized I had run out of red paint. There was a certain amount of time pressure. So I politely asked Freya if I could borrow hers.
네.
Just for a little while, you know. Perfectly reasonable request.
네.
But she said no.
I tried to explain why I needed it, but she didn't seem to care. So,
그래서
well, I took Freya's red paint pot and swapped it with my own empty one.
You went into her room?
Not my
훔쳤네,
proudest
훔쳤네.
moment, but it's just paint. I didn't touch anything else.
And the paint pot you left behind was definitely empty?
Quite. I have absolutely no idea how it got blood in it, if
그래?
that's what you're asking.
정말이야?
Why were you in such a hurry to get a hold of red paint anyway?
그러니까.
I was trying to finish this in time for Flora's
플로라
birthday.
생일이었구나.
I needed red to paint the final details.
Could you not have just used a different color?
Out of the question. It had to be red and white.
If you managed to finish it, why haven't you given it to Flora
그러니까
yet?
왜 안 줬어요?
Well, I decided against it in the end. After what
프레야가
happened,
죽었지. 맞지.
seemed a bit insensitive.
Let's go over what we know about the crime scene.
그래요. 범죄 현장.
We know a little more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think?
어떻게
Was
생각해?
Freya stabbed by her own painting?
아, 그건 아닌 것 같은데. 무슨 그림을 세울 때 끝이 빨간? 물감통 피나? 이건가? 피부든 칼이
Blood from the paint pot was
Oh,
used to
역시,
paint the red
역시.
tip of the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
이런 건
I
이건
think you're
잘해.
right.
이제 이건 좀
Can't decide if
잘
I'm
맞추는
disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
질문이 있어. Why?
Either it's a very strange coincidence, or somebody set it up.
Somebody deliberately put blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why?
그러니까.
To distract us?
Possibly?
Well, it worked.
Possibly.
그러네.
Flora's the only person who could have hidden the feather, unless someone took it from her.
Let's go over what we do know.
아는 것에 대해
The door was
짚어보자.
locked the whole time. It stayed locked until Fitz
그치.
kicked it down.
부술 때까지
Normally,
그대로였어.
it can only be opened from the inside. Pointer said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope, but he did see Flora lying by the window.
So whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Except Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Hold on. If
기다려봐.
there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
Right now, I'm less interested in the what and more interested in the how.
How?
The angle of Freya's wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle.
그러니까
That is,
직각으로.
from directly in front of her.
어떻게
But she
찔러
was
이게?
standing right up by the
근데
canvas.
캠퍼스는 찢어지지도
Somehow,
않았어.
Freya ended up lying on her back, still perfectly in line with the painting.
Maybe something went through it.
Through the painting? Wouldn't that leave a hole?
그러니까 구멍이 안 나와.
Okay, well, how about this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over? Maybe her being stabbed and her falling over are completely unrelated.
뭔가 앞뒤가 안 맞는데 그래도. 이제 어디로 가야 될까요? PPI 얘기를 해야 된다. 얘는 얘기 다 했는데 이거랑 얘기해야 되나?
This belongs to Poppy. In fact, she owns a number of cassette tapes.
What happened to it, though?
It has been left underwater for an extended period of time.
Right,
왜요?
but why?
I do not know why.
음,
Freya drew these,
Yeah, I think so. There's a note on the back.
but she never showed them to me.
Well, I think it was a gift for your mother, like a private thing between Freya and Flora.
그러게요. 이게 동사?
The statue itself does not interest me, but I do wish to know about those symbols on the harp. Have you deciphered their meaning yet?
네.
We're working on it.
We are?
뭘 물어봐야 되지? 끝난 거 아닌가? 물어보긴 물어봐야 되는 것 같은데. 이거?
It is a flower. It reminds me of something, but I cannot say what.
편지?
Curious.
플로라?
Name, Flora Fellow. Age, 44. Profession,
미사.
unknown. Likes,
모름.
unknown. Dislikes,
모름.
unknown.
Isn't she your mother? How do you not know
그러니까
anything?
엄마 아니야?
I believe other people may have discovered methods of reaching her, but I have little capacity for interpreting nonverbal communication.
And how long has Flora been non-verbal?
She has always been quiet, willing to speak when necessary, but not more.
So what happened to make her stop talking entirely?
그러니까 왜 말을 안
She
해?
suffered a great loss,
상실?
something she has been unable to move beyond.
왜? 어떡해.
Name, Felix Fellow. Age, 53. Profession,
없음.
none. Likes, collecting objects of negligible monetary value and assigning them personal value. Dislikes, the inescapable realities of human existence. Notes, Felix is my father and legal guardian.
저
And,
보호자입니다.
is he a good dad?
I have no point of comparison, but
비교할
I
대상이
would say no.
No?
왜요?
Why not?
You asked me a binary question. Do not get upset that I provided one of the two possible answers.
What makes him a
꼽주는데?
bad father, Fifi?
He has trouble expressing his emotions, and something of a willful detachment from
서툴다.
reality.
Huh. Just like you, then.
Grimoire.
No, he is quite correct.
오, 되게 쿨한데? 이게 끝인가? 아, 또 물어봐야 되네. 다 물어봐야 되나 보다 얘한테는.
Name, Haksha. Age, unknown. Profession,
안 나와.
private detective. Likes, quote, being left
혼자
alone.
하는 거?
Dislikes, quote, being constantly badgered by a weirdo nerd
클립보드가
with
있는
a
찐따 같은
clipboard.
글자를 고르는 뭔 말이야?
Name, Fitzfellow. Age, 24.
14살. 헉, 되게
Profession,
젊었네?
cryptobotanist. Likes soil, dislikes electric lights.
Hang on. Cryptobotanist? I thought he was just a
비밀식물원.
gardener.
That may well be his preferred label. Mine, however, is more accurate.
Do you and Fitz not see eye to eye, Fifi?
We do not.
Well, I wouldn't have thought so. He's well over 6 foot, and you've got to be just barely 5.
So, what's your problem with him?
아이 진짜.
Exactly 1 week ago, I witnessed him sneaking up Pointer Tower. He was making every effort to avoid detection.
들키지 않기
So?
위해
He was also carrying a knife.
칼을 들고 있었다고? 오잉? 뭐야? 아니 칼 들고 있는 얘기 좀 해줘봐요.
What a mess. Penelope should tidy up after herself.
These weren't dropped by Penny. They were dropped by birds, I think.
My argument stands. I am scared of birds.
Why?
뭐요?
It is an irrational fear. I have no suitable explanation.
Oh,
오 어렵네요. 다 물어봐야 되나?
Freya is normally highly skilled at capturing someone's likeness, but in this painting, she has accidentally made Flora look quite young.
그러니까요.
I think she was just being kind.
Why is that kind? Anyway, I'm far more interested in what Flora is holding. I performed the test on the red paint myself. I discovered that it was in fact not paint, but blood.
What
그러니까.
made you want to test it in the first place?
It was
귀엽다.
Poppy. She told me she thought the painting looked like a bloody knife. I told her not to be ridiculous. My mother owns no such knife. But then I noticed that the color was slightly too dark, and the substance itself was overly viscous.
점성?
you noticed that just from looking at it once?
그러니까
Of course,
천재인데?
I require facts. What do you know?
Well, we know Freya was stabbed with a knife, and then she fell.
Correction. She was
그러니까.
stabbed with something. There was no knife found at the crime scene,
그러니까
Apart from the one in the painting.
which as a mere abstract representation does not count. Nobody has ever been stabbed by the
핑계가
concept
없네.
of a knife.
이러면 되나? 얼마나 더 이거 마지막까지 다 물어봐야 되나? 얘는? 그러니까 다 물어본 것 같은데?
What is your opinion of Tangle Tower?
Oh, it's impressive.
선생님
Elaborate gardens, unique architecture.
Must be worth a fortune.
Why do you ask, Fifi?
I am the heir of the Fellow family and the Remington family. This makes me the sole beneficiary of Tangle Tower.
오,
That's quite an inheritance.
They can't make you do anything, Fifi.
그럼요.
If you don't want the house, just tell them. Or just sell it. Who cares?
You sound like her.
뭐야? 프레이야. 근데 딱히 물어볼 게 있나 이제?
Is that a snow globe?
Of sorts. Hey, look at that. It's a
Thank you.
model of Tangle Tower. There's the lake and those weird mountains. What are you thinking?
뭐
That would
생각해?
make an amazing souvenir.
다 물어본 것 같은데? 작업실? 작업실이 어디였죠? 이건가? 여기겠죠? 석조광장 여기 아니네? 작업실 프레이야 봐. 그냥 프레이야 보면 작업실이 어디지? 요건가? 아 여기네.
A little hand-painted statue.
How can you tell it's hand painted?
Well, the paints are right there on the desk. Also, I mean, no offense, but you can just tell.
어? 색칠된 조각상. 이런 것도 있었네. 아닌가? 이것 때문에 그런가? 그치, 펜이. 좋았어. 얘기해 봅시다.
A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it?
어, 이거 아닌가?
It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad.
왜요?
Lovely.
뭐 물어봐야 되죠?
Ooh, delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too, I think.
Yes. At one point, I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell them.
왜
But
팔아요?
honestly, I think he just likes the way they look.
또 물어봐야 되나?
Oh, did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
조금.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be lies.
오, 뭐야.
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what
진짜-
she
진짜
does.
싫어하네.
She's a snake. Looks like one too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it.
진짜 싫어하네요. 완전 막 거의 극혐할 정도로 싫어하네.
She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds. Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species, too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
그만해요.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting. All the
이뻐라.
birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath.
어머 어머.
I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
진짜
I feel like
정성스럽게
I always
해줬다.
struggled to articulate my admiration for her. But she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
많이 그리워하네 그래도.
Can't say I've ever taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion, I've dared to visit him in his tower, but I always
그랬죠.
regret it. It's all just a little too abstract for me.
추상적이라서.
What do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently over 400,000
아니요.
miles wide? Okay, so what should I do with that information? How does it help me?
그쵸? 그거
Don't
맞죠?
look at me. You're the one who memorized it.
피치.
Isn't he strapping?
He is big.
그래요. 맞아요.
And so
헬스 많이 했어요.
brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input.
전곡 찔렸어.
She's a most unsavory little. She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird arms or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others.
자존심
I mean,
상했어.
look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow. I just
안
wish
돼요.
Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
왜요?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility.
오.
Did you not know that? A fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert,
Oh,
truth be
그래요?
told. Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends with Flora?
A little bit.
조금요?
A little bit friends.
She's one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little too loud for her.
I can see that.
I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ouch.
I said it.
펠릭스를 되게 안 좋게 보네. 예뻐.
She mostly ignores me, if I'm honest.
How come?
왜요?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
뭐 그럴
Oh.
수 있죠.
You don't need to.
Oh, no. It's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it.
어.
Oh, she's beautiful. Who is she? Wait,
어.
is that
Oh.
me?
예.
I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated
아저씨가
into.
심하시네요.
People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable.
왜 이렇게 뒷담화를 하세요?
Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right. Yes, it's my, my flower.
네.
You don't like it?
I'm no good at caring for plants. I forget to water them. Birds are much easier. They're a lot more vocal when they get thirsty.
Do you at least like the look of the flower?
The
그러니까요.
look?
The colors? The shape of it?
조금 이상하긴 한데.
Between you and me, I think it's a little vulgar.
그래도 약혼자가 선물 준 건데 너무 야박하다. 뭐를 물어보지? 이거?
Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
이거 끝인가?
There's something
있다.
about the report of Fitz going up Pointer Tower. Something suspicious.
Let's ask him
가보자.
about it.
근데 그럼 용의자 단서는 다 찾은 건가 이러면 용의는? 혐의.
So, Fitz,
미치 씨.
I have a report that you were seen sneaking up
당신.
Pointer Tower. Holding a
칼을
knife.
진짜로?
That's not right. I don't go into Pointer Tower. I don't own a knife. And I
칼을 진짜로
don't
갔다고요?
sneak. Was it Fifi who told you this?
How did you know that?
어떻게
A
알아요?
guess. She doesn't like me very much.
에이,
But yeah,
아무리
she
그래도
was
그럴-
mistaken.
싫다
Maybe she
그래도
wasn't wearing her eye lens thing.
서로
What do you think,
디스하는데.
Grimoire?
칼을 안 든 걸 봐서 그런가 아니면 칼을 든 걸 봐서 그런가? 오케이, 3번을.
Fifi did see Fitz, but he was holding something else.
So, if
Oh,
it wasn't a
맞았어,
knife, what was it?
뭐였을까요? 삽이었을 것 같은데 삽이지 않았을까요 그럼? 이거였을 것 같은데 이게 좀 칼같이 생겼잖아요. 이걸로 할게.
What about this?
Ah, that.
Is it yours?
It was a gift. It's sentimental. I have no reason to take it up Pointer Tower. I don't use it at all.
무언가를 묻기 위해 사용했다. 바로 화분의 열매? 페니의 방에서. 아니 이건가? 이거 같지 않아요? 이거 한번 해볼까요?
An ornate trowel was used to bury almost.
하나 바꾸면
Maybe
되는데?
just change.
뭘까? 어? 돌보는 거 이거 아닐까요? 아니면? 이거 한번-
An ornate
아,
trowel is used by
이거였네요.
Fitz to look after a
일단 이거는
potted
맞았었나
flower
보다.
in Penny's room.
That flower.
Yes.
I've never seen it before.
응?
We need a clue to compare to that flower. Something that proves
선생님
its
언제까지 거짓말
connection
칠
to
거예요?
Fitz.
뭘 하는 거예요? 맞아요. 화분과 직접 비교할 수 있는 거. 이거예요.
Let's take a closer look at these.
토야. 그러니까요. 여기 사람들 거짓말만 쳐. 다 구라쟁이야. 위치하는 것은 정원으로 가겠네요. 온실이었나? 빛의 온실은
The pot and soil in Penny's room matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's greenhouse.
그럼요. 맨날 구라만 치고 있어.
Let me guess.
입만 열면
Penny's flower
거짓말을
was
하니까.
originally a gift from you, Fitz. There's no way it's a coincidence.
No way what's a coincidence.
The flower. It looks exactly like Penny.
It took me a long time to breed. I wanted the colors to be exactly right.
That's some gift.
오, 정성 가득한
Turns out Penny
선물입니다.
isn't particularly interested in looking after
네,
plants.
그렇다
So I
그러더라고요.
go into her room every now and again. When she's not there,
착하다.
water the flower, change the soil,
착하긴 하네
just
그래도.
trying to keep it alive.
Are
아니
we
근데
done?
페니를 위해서가 아니라 식물을 위해서 그런 거였어. 저거 좀 슬픈데?
For now.
그러니까.
It's about time we found out what's beneath the garden.
드디어 그 정원 밑으로 갈까요 이제? 갈까요? 가보죠. 가자.
Where do you think it goes?
Down.
밑으로 가자. 지하실이다. 오, 또 새 챕터인가 보네요. 지하. 계속하기. 헉? 뭐야 여기? 이거 무슨 막 실험실 같은 거 아니에요 거의? 뭐야 으스스해. 뭐야 이거. 그니까
And drawn entomology charts.
이거 뭐야?
Bugs. Big ones.
Looks like they're made of metal.
금속으로 만들었다. 헉, 설마 그 금속 딱정벌레? 그건가?
A cracked glass tank with 9 little rooms.
오 여기도 금이
Each
나갔네.
one has 1 or 2 insects inside. I can't tell if they're still alive.
I like that you called them rooms.
What's in there?
안에 뭐가 있어? 자세히 봐보자. 오, 곤충 막 표본들이 있네요.
It's a little diagram of a beetle with some incomprehensible.
That's weird.
What?
이상하네.
It looks really normal
그러게.
compared to the beetles behind the glass.
9 beetles, all different, all dead.
표본이나?
Poor little guys.
There's a bunch of notes written all around them. It's mostly numbers. No idea what they mean.
뭔가 의미가 있나?
Forensic Entomology,
아,
Volume
법
3.
곤충아 이런 건 뭐야?
That's an incredibly specific area of study.
이건 뭐야?
Is it locked?
Seems likely, doesn't it?
자세히 봐봐요. 아,
Weird looking safe.
I'm pretty sure the latches can slide into the middle.
이거 뭐 어떻게 하는 거야 이거? 아, 홀리 몰리. 어떻게 하는 거예요 이거? 오, 와우. No. 어떻게 하는 거예요 이거? 일단 이거부터인가? 이거. 이건가? 뒤에서부터도 이어보자. 일단 이거일 것 같은데. 이거에. 이건가? 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 아니 어려워 이거 왜 이렇게 어허 너무 어려운 거 아니야 이거? 어떻게 해야 될까? 아니 아니 퍼즐 도와줄 사람, 퍼즐 좀 도와줘. 일단 다 빼보라고요? 오케이 오케이. 아무것도 모르겠는데요? 이거 너무 모르겠는 거 아니에요? 일단은 그럼 처음부터 해봅시다. 순서대로 하는 거야. 일단은 이거부터 해. 그리고 그다음에 바로 밑에 있는 것부터 하는 거지. 이거 요거겠죠. 요거랑 그다음에 이거는 아니고 이게 제일 잘 어울리는데 이거랑 분홍색 이건가? 이거일 것 같아. 이거랑 여기서 또 이어져야 되니까 몰라. 일단 해봐. 이거랑 그다음에 이 초록색 나오겠지? 요건가? 요거겠죠? 이거 것 같은데? 이거랑 이거야. 이거 이렇게 있고 여기서 이제 이렇게 가는 거지. 오, 이거 그럴듯하지 않아요?
Nothing.
I think we're trying to make a path between the key and lock symbols on either side.
이거 맞는 것 같은데? 그림은 맞는 것 같은데? 뭔가 잘못 나서 그런가? 마지막 이거 이렇게?
I guess that's wrong.
The easiest part should be connecting the path to the two symbols.
이거 밑에가 잘렸네. 그러면 밑에가 잘리네요. 이렇게. 어떻게 나야 되냐? 이렇게다.
I got it.
오케이.
Anything inside?
Yeah.
근데 진짜
More
어려웠다.
research.
그러니까 정밀도 비밀 연구 노트 및 도표가 특별도 위 고유의 동식물은 아직 알려지지 않은 수많은 화학 물질의 부산물이다. 이 화학 물질은 물속에 끊임없이 존재하고 구름을 생성하고 목소리를 채운다. 이것은 식물과 동물의 다양한 돌연변이를 일으킨다. 호미르, 곤충, 연체, 동물, 양서류 등 독방류와 같은 작은 생물이 가장 큰 영향을 받는다. 그러나 화학물질은 먹이사슬에 따라 올라가서 새와 파충류에게 돌연변이를 일으킬 수 있다. 우리가 아는 한 포유류는 완전히 영역권 외이다. 뭔 말인지 모르겠네.
Whose research is this? This is some seriously in-depth research.
심도 있는
That's
용어들.
impressive, but it's incomplete. There's a
빠진
section
부분도
missing.
있어. 그러니까 여기 빠졌는데? 이건가?
That's not right.
아니에요? 황금이? 이거! 오, 맞네.
So, this is Pointer's secret lab.
그러네.
Definitely seems like he's the one using
교수님
it.
거였구나.
I guess not a lot of people know about the secret entrance.
Right. But if Pointer's the only one who comes down here, why would he need to lock his research in a safe?
그러니까.
Who's he hiding it from?
He's just paranoid, especially about his golden beetle.
What do you think he's trying to do exactly?
뭘 하려고 했을까? 이거 아닐까요? 이걸 번식시키려고 한 거야. 장소는 지하실.
Pointer has been trying to breed
야.
the golden beetle in the underground laboratory.
Why? Because it's rare?
Because it's gold?
Is that it?
I think
이게
so. I
약간
don't think he cares about
교수님이
entomology
좀
any more than he cares about
돈에
astronomy.
지금
He just wants to get one
돈미세하는
over on Felix.
돈미세.
If he can breed his own gold, suddenly Poppy's inheritance is looking
그러니까.
pretty,
Infinite.
돈미세였는
Might explain why he
돈미세.
was so worried about losing the beetle. Maybe somebody did steal it.
might have been Freya after all. We know she was trying to get through the secret door in the garden.
She might not have known what was down here, though. Maybe she was just curious.
Curious, sure,
뭔가 또
but
흑막이
not
계속
naive.
나오는데요.
I reckon she knew what was going on.
I think we're still missing the bigger picture. There's no way this is all just about a beetle.
그러니까.
We're done.
Ready to go down? Again?
그렇죠, 가죠. 여긴 뭐야? 지하에 지하도 있네요.
We're too late.
뭐야?
This photograph has been stabbed.
찔렸어.
Why?
뭘
By
찔렸어?
what?
Not sure. Some kind of metal stabbing thingy.
금속 막대. 미끄러면서 견고한 금속 막대. 누군가 이것을 사진을 찔렀다. 막대의 끝은 마치 화살이나 시계바처럼 구부러졌다. 뒤쪽이나 짧은 고리가 달렸다. 그래서 되게 많다.
So what's the photo?
어떤 끈이요? 근데 이 그림이네. 액자에 있지만 약간 젖어 있다. 사진 속 한 소녀가 있다. 그 옆에 큰 남자가 있다. 그 주위로 짧고 하얀 새의 물마리가 있다. 물체가 사진 찍었다. 남자의 가슴은 고칠 공을 이 그 하얀 머리 얘가 그 사람 아닌가요? 그 누구지? 이거 플로라. 그쵸? 플로라 같이 생겼는데. 물음표?
Do you know who it is? In the photo?
네, 저 알 것 같아요.
This
플로라예요,
man
플로라.
in the photo. He reminds me of something from one of our clues.
그러면 아빠인가?
That's not right.
이 사람?
That's not right.
그것도 아니에요? 사람?
That's not right.
뭐지? 사진 속 남자? 남자. 뭘까? 이상한 게 있었나, 이거에 대해서? 잘 모르겠네, 뭐지? 일단 찔러봐야겠는데?
That's not right.
이거야.
We need a clue that's got some connection to this.
그래요? 네, 알겠습니다. 이거.
That's not right.
이거?
That's not right.
몇 투째야 도대체? 이거다.
Felix made a little model of him for Flora.
Yeah, it makes sense when you know who he is.
로드 레밍턴인가?
Lord Remington.
Remington. That makes him
맞아요.
Flora's father, meaning the girl in the photo is.
Yeah, it's her.
Flora.
See the bird, too.
I never would have guessed. Times sure do change.
그러게.
I don't know. I don't think she looks so different.
A single book on a little makeshift table.
This is creeping me out slightly.
그러게.
Why?
왜요?
I think it's a children's book.
어린이 형식이라고요? 하늘과 바다의 미스티드. 어린이 형식. 왜 오래된 것 같다. 얼룩색. 빨갛고 하얀 깃털의 원. 네. 이냐고 기냐를 가진 수생 중. 영혼들이죠. 각 크기가 다른 집게발을 갖는. 달린 개. 양서구리. 두 발로 걷는 개구리 같이 생긴 생물체. 오, 다 특이하게 생겼네. 약간 상상 속의 동물.
This room looks old. Like, old.
그렇죠.
It makes the rest of the house seem relatively modern.
그래, 되게 낡아 보이네.
Old cardboard boxes.
How exciting.
Oh, but there's more. They're also damp and empty.
젖은 상자. 젖은 상자 쓸 데도 없네.
It's an old coat rack. Looks thoroughly neglected.
2 cloaks. And a green hat draped on top for good measure.
누가 놓고 갔네요, 이거를.
Basements don't normally have windows.
We're at the bottom of the lake. It must be.
Right. But if that's the lake bed, why does it look like that?
그러게.
Like what?
White, smooth, no plants, no anything. That's not what a lake looks like.
그러니까. 어?
Where are we?
이거 여기 어디야? 여기 어디? 나는 누구?
Did you notice how much light this room has? For a room with one candle?
It's all coming through the window.
창문을
I'm
통해 빛이
pretty sure lakes are supposed to be darker at the bottom, not lighter.
Why is there a room down here anyway? And why is it so much older than the rest of Tangle Tower?
We still don't really know why people came to live here in the first place.
왜 살고
Maybe they just wanted to get rich, like Pointer with his beetles.
그러니까.
I feel like the Remingtons came here for the lake, for what was in it.
It's empty though. More empty than a normal lake would be.
It is now, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we're too late.
늦게 온 걸지도 몰라. 그러니까 원래 사람이 갔다 갔을 수도 있겠네, 생각해보면.
Old cardboard boxes.
How exciting.
Oh, they're also damp and empty. Do these puddles worry you?
맞아요.
Why?
왜요?
That's lake water, but it's indoors.
Ah, I see your point.
뭐 뒤져볼까 보나?
There's a roll of paper up there.
I'll see if I can reach it.
Let me guess. Blank.
펼쳐보자. 촤라랍. 촤라랍. 오, 약간 지하도 느낌이네.
It's the room above us. The one we were just in.
The laboratory?
실험실이요?
Yeah.
That's the room we're in now. It must be. It's not labeled as anything on these plans, though.
그러게요.
I think it already existed when this was made.
이런 건 없지 않았어요? 연구실?
Study. Wait.
그럼,
I know what you're thinking. And no, we never
그러니까
went in
여긴
there.
가본 적 없어.
How did we miss it?
This seems pretty significant.
Agreed.
연구실에 가봐야겠네요. 미스티드 저택. 북쪽 횡단면 계획도가 그러니 양식이 말려있다. 대저택 북쪽 계획이다. 실편상 과거 호수의 수위이며 두 번째 현재 수위이다. 저택의 지탱하는 수위 큰 배정면적. 프레이어 방엔 창고. 오, 프레이어는 창고구나. 이 밑에 볼일은 다 본 것 같아요.
Let's head back up to the grand hall. I want to find that last room.
나도 연구실 보고 싶어요. 오, 어두워졌어. 어두워졌어요.
Wow, it's dark all of a sudden.
How long were we down there?
갑자기 어두워졌어요.
This must be it. This thing goes all the way up.
How are we supposed to get up there?
어떻게 올라가요?
Hang on, it's pitch black, but I think there's a switch.
눌러봐요. 사다리가 내려왔어요. 올라가 볼까요?
A ladder.
Wanna go up?
올라가요? 올라갑시다. 오, 이제 챕터 끝났나봐요. 또 새로운 챕터인가 보다. 숨겨진 심장부. 오, 뭐야, 이거 곰 보여요? 곰 뒤에 있는 거? 오, 막 죽일 듯이 쳐다보잖아. 무서워. 그니까.
You know, in any normal room, this thing would be my main concern. In here, though, it barely makes the top 3.
상위 3에서 탑 3 안 되는.
Dragon?
드래곤?
Snake?
Worm?
That's the one.
그거는.
Is that a crab?
It's got a translucent
빨간 건
exoskeleton.
뭐야?
You could
정육점도
actually
아니고.
see its insides.
Also, crabs normally have 2
아, 이거
claws,
설마.
right? Not 3?
설마 안 돼.
Ugh. You sure we should be touching it?
Grimoire, don't you think it looks familiar?
뭐야 이거 어떻게 하는 거야? 뭐 하는 거야?
I guess that's wrong.
뭐
I
하는
don't think
거야?
we need to guess.
What do you mean?
We have all the information we need in our case file.
사건 파일이 있다.
This crab really reminds me of
That
something.
little wooden toy we found?
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to help us. I think I've seen it more recently.
뭐지? 아 이거 아닐까요? 요거 슉슉 슉슉 오케이 다 외웠어.
Is that a
It's got
also crab?
아 움직이지 말으세요. 요거랑 꺾이나 이거랑 이거야. 이거라고?
Perfect.
오케이. 석궁이 나왔어요.
What's this?
Something somebody didn't want us to find.
이거 아까 전에 그거랑 다 연결되는 거 아니에요 지금? 그러니까
What is it?
무기.
Was someone trying to hide it? From us?
I don't know, but it looks incomplete to me.
이거
I want to
그리고
know what happened to the rest of it.
파츠별로
Where
다
are the other
버렸다고?
parts?
정말 대단하다. 이미 찾았죠.
We found them already.
이거는 요거는 요거는 요거야.
What do you make of it?
Not sure. Let's keep an open mind.
You don't think the crossbow is the murder weapon?
Oh no, the crossbow is definitely the murder weapon.
그럼
But
살인기구지.
that doesn't mean we've solved the mystery.
꼬마아저씨
You know, in any normal room, this thing would be my main concern. In here, though, it barely makes the top.
아까 전에 말 걸었지. 오 여기 또
Do
깨졌네요.
those look like scratch marks to you? On the glass?
Yeah, they're on the inside. It's a wooden pinboard,
아무래도
hung up
명품이야.
on one of the chains.
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
중앙에 큰 종이가 붙여졌다. 중앙에 빈 곳에서 세계선이 나왔다. 그려져 나와 있다. 아래는 망토를 입은 시luet에 보이는 작은 그림이다. 이 사람 그 사람은요? 호크쇼 그거 탐정. 그쵸? 이 사람 그 사람이죠. 근데 왜 갑자기 여기서 나왔지?
Crumpled up paper.
그린 종이.
Is there anything written on any of it?
Not really. It's mostly blank.
An axe and some kind of hunting rifle, mounted on the wall.
Honestly, doesn't look like they've been moved in a few years.
그치?
I'm more worried about the third one.
The third one?
우리
The one that
찾았어요.
isn't there.
Coffee table, half-empty wine bottle, lamp left on.
다 사치 잘
I'm
그리시네.
gonna say someone's been using this room.
Someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around.
노트북 두고 왔다. 여러 페이지가 찍혀져 있지만 페이지가 남겨있다. 다섯 점을 보내면서 드디어 기대하지 않고 있지만 역시 실망하고 말았다. 나머지와 다를 바가 없다. 내 미스티드 친구를 시험 위에 연구실로 내려가 성공적이다. 어쩌면 너무 시험시에조차 실망 안겨줬다. 그것 때문에 또 노래를 들는지 그는 내가 생각하는 것보다 근시해 갔다. 전망이 깊다. 이 부분 사용하는 도중은 내가 원하는 달려가는 것이다. 조심해서 아무것도 움직인 것은 없다. 하지만 난 알지. 그때가 왔다. 그때가 지금 때인가.
Coffee table,
Someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around.
an incinerator built into the wall. It's still pretty hot.
Is there
뜨겁다고?
anything left inside?
It's mostly ashes. But yeah, there's something.
불에 탄 물건. 그냥 먼저 됐더니. 검은 벽. 헉! 이거 깃털. 이거 깃털 아니에요? 그리고 가운데 빨간색 거 흰색 있는 거? 깃털 같은데? 여기 있었어.
Someone's been using this room.
누가 이걸 버렸네 일부러.
I don't get it. This room is in the original building plans for the mansion. But nowadays it's some big secret?
It's not a secret to
비밀만
everybody.
많아.
At least one other person still knows about this room.
The way the notebook was left out on the table makes me think it's someone who has the room all to themselves.
Whoever it was, they left more than just the notebook. There's a whole
그쵸, 그쵸.
design project on this pinboard. Feels like someone put quite a bit of effort into it.
It's a shame there are things missing from it.
그러게.
I'm betting
하나가
it'd make more
없어졌네.
sense if we could see it all together.
That might not be impossible, you know.
어떻게 해요? 이건가? 이건가? 왠지 그럴듯해 보이는데? 이거 산이 아니었어요.
The painting from Freya's room and those sketches.
산이 아니었던 거야.
Did
아니 왠지
Freya
모자가 비슷해
design
보이길래 그냥
Detective
넣어봤는데.
Hawkshaw's clothes? What kind of sense does that make?
I don't think that's why Freya made that painting, but it may have been why somebody took a photo of it to use as reference. And as for those sketches of Hawkshaw, I don't think Freya actually drew them. It was somebody else, someone with less of a talent for art.
Doesn't exactly narrow it down. Should we go ask Detective Hawkshaw about all this?
샤워.
I'm not sure. I still don't know what's really going on.
그러니까 상황 파악이 좀 안 됐어. 뭐 하나가 부족한데?
It's a wooden pinboard hung up on.
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
뭐 하나가 부족하지? 뭐 하나가 부족할까요?
Watch out. Floor's wet.
Thanks. Some kind of fish and a.
If that's a bird skull, we're talking about a 15-foot bird here.
Well, how about we stop talking about it?
이건가?
Who are all the people in this photo?
Not sure, but it looks like someone didn't like them very much. Their eyes have all been crossed out.
선 긋고 있어. 다 개인주의야. 단 하나 남은 경쟁사 직원이 투명물에 나가. 저택의 대표 주제들. 네, 그렇죠.
That photo is important. I'm sure of it.
말해보세요. 듣고 있어요. 지금 사진 어떤 거야? 이거야? 뭐 문제 있어요? 대표 주자들 그런 사진이에요. 이거 하면서 또 밝혀지지 않을까요?
Another photograph.
Their faces are all crossed out with some kind of black ink.
그러게. 왜
That's
가려놨대?
weird.
Oh, you think so?
No, I mean, something I just realized. Sally, did we meet any of these people here at Tangle Tower?
없지 않아요?
Well, the woman on the left looks a little like Poppy, but her style is way different. And at first I thought the guy on the top right was Felix, but now that I look at it, I don't think it is
다
him.
비슷비슷하게 생겼단 말인가? 챕터가 끝났어 또. 인? 헉, 살인? 이제 끝인가?
Time to solve this.
해결한다 이제. 드디어 해결한다.
All right, break out the notebook.
알겠습니다.
Time to put it all together.
Let's start with this. It's an arrow for the crossbow, and it matches Freya's wound.
그쵸?
It's the murder weapon. I'm sure of it.
확실해?
Despite the fact it doesn't have any blood on it, and it wasn't found anywhere near the crime scene.
It was cleaned, then it was hidden. I don't think anybody expected us to get down to that room at the bottom of the
그럼요.
lake.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow. Where was it fired from?
그러니까 어디서 썼을까? 정면은 아닌 것 같고 둘 중 하나인 것 같은데 위요?
It was fired from above Freya.
Above, huh?
Yeah, our diagram doesn't show everything. Let's add in the rest of the crime scene.
The attic.
Perfect hiding place. We even found a part of the
아,
murder weapon up
다락방.
there. The reel was used to pull the arrow back up through the crack in the floorboards.
Explains why we never found a weapon at the crime scene, I guess.
The murderer must have dropped the reel in the attic. I'm guessing they were in a hurry to escape.
Wait. The arrow was fired through the crack in the
그것도
floorboards?
힘들지 않을까?
Yeah, it's directly above where Freya was found lying on her back.
Nope. Doesn't add up. It would
말이
have
안
missed
되는데?
her if she was still standing up by the painting.
Ah, right.
Unless...
3번.
Freya was already lying on her back
오, 미제 뭐
before the arrow
또또해.
was fired.
I think so too.
오늘 뭐야 왜 이렇게 또또해? 이건 1번이겠지? 말이 되는 게 1번밖에
She'd
없는데?
fallen unconscious.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
테이프 때문이니까 금가고 3번인가? 이것도 3번 같죠? 3번
The
해볼게요.
gramophone.
Right.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
층계 안에 뭐가 있어서?
There was something in the gramophone.
Something small.
뭘까? 뭘까?
That's not it.
아니야? 딱점벌레?
Pointer's research says it can emit
어떻게
an
맞췄어 나?
incredibly loud hiss when it feels threatened. Poppy and Fitz both said they heard a loud noise around the time of the murder. Neither of them had any idea what it was.
This seems a little far-fetched. Is it really loud enough to knock someone out?
No, I don't think so, not by itself. But don't forget, it was being amplified by the shape of the gramophone. I don't think we're purely talking about volume either. It might just be a particular type of frequency.
그러니까 뭔가 안
This is
맞아서
getting
깨지는
kind
거네요.
of scientific.
과학적으로.
Since when do you know anything about the effects of weaponized audio frequency?
I don't, but I think someone else does. Do you remember that statue we found in the music
네.
room? The hornet's playing. It's a pretty similar shape to the one on the gramophone.
네.
That broken glass isn't there on accident. This is someone's
그거 퍼피 방에서
science
실험한 거 아니에요?
experiment.
퍼피가
Thinking
범인이야.
about it, Pointer said he saw Flora was knocked out too. I guess they were both in range of the noise, although Pointer might have been lying.
Personally, I think he was telling the truth about that. It's pretty clear a powerful
빵댕이 씨가
frequency
좀
did pass
설명을
through
잘해줬지.
Flora's tower. Caused quite a bit of damage too.
무슨 이건가?
That's not it.
뭘까요? 깨진 거?
That's not it.
이거?
Those cracks didn't
오,
appear out of
맞네, 맞네.
nowhere.
물감이었네요.
Freya's paints,
네,
the thick
맞아요,
cassette
맞아요.
tape, and the gramophone itself, they all sustained similar damage while they were in that room.
그니까.
That's some seriously powerful
엄청 센
vibration.
거라는
Enough to
건데.
crack metal.
음성이.
Enough to knock someone out all the way across a room.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get.
이게
If
그렇게
the frequency
커질 수
was
있나?
so powerful and had such a big range, how did the murderer pull it off? Wouldn't they have been in range too? Think about it. They can't have been much further away from the
아,
gramophone than Flora
귀마개.
was.
그러면 자신을 보호했는 게 맞네요?
They protected themselves.
How?
귀마개로요.
These are some pretty heavy-duty earmuffs. I think they'd be enough to block out the sound.
맞아요, 맞아요.
Right. Let's go over everything from the start. 1. Freya is painting Flora's portrait. They're listening to music on the gramophone.
그럼
2. The murderer is hiding in the attic, wearing earmuffs.
3. The golden beetle starts to emit its hissing noise.
Hold on. How did it know?
The beetle?
Yeah, what triggered it at that particular moment? Pointer's research said it makes the noise when it feels threatened.
I'm not sure. Maybe something in the music?
Maybe.
4. Freya and Flora are both knocked unconscious by the vibrations. Freya lands on her back. She drops the brush and palette by her side.
5. The murderer fires the crossbow directly downwards.
오.
6. The
그럴듯한데?
arrow is pulled back up on the reel.
7. The murderer leaves the attic, presumably.
8. The door is kicked down. Fitz and Poppy enter the room.
That's it.
뭐야, 끝나는 분위기인 것 같은데?
There's something bothering me.
What?
I just want to check something. Let's go back to the crime scene.
드디어 끝나는 거 봐. 간다. 뭔가 약간 살짝 무섭지 않아요?
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
딱정벌레? 그럴 수도 있겠네요. 근데 여기서 이제 뭘 하는 거지? 아무것도 없는데요, 밑에?
I can see the stars.
별 이쁘긴 하네요.
Plant. It's in the book.
What?
Look.
새에 대한 또 뭔가 있네.
Freya, did you leave us a clue?
뭐지? 사진 단서.
So what's bothering you?
Something that's not here. The thing we didn't find. We know she was holding it during the painting.
Flora's ink dip feather?
It was here. In this room. Where'd it go?
아까 전에 그 불탄 거 아니야? 다른 곳에 찾았잖아.
Found it somewhere else.
이거죠, 이거. 탄 거.
We were a little too late to save it.
So it was stolen from the crime scene. And ended up in the incinerator down in the study.
Someone wanted to destroy it, I guess.
But how? How was it stolen from up here in Flora's tower?
Presumably,
맞아요.
Flora dropped it when she fell unconscious.
Yeah, and then what? The murderer couldn't have stolen it if they were up in the attic.
다락방에
So the
있었을 텐데.
question is, how could they steal something from a room they weren't able to access? The final clue about the
마지막
crime
단서.
scene. Freya left it for us right here.
추궁기? 이거 끝내지 못한 그림? 그림일까요?
It's in the unfinished painting. It's not quite a photo, but still, it's an image of the crime scene
그럼요.
recorded just before the murder. If only she'd finished it, and then I could be totally sure.
It's true she never finished it. But she did intend to finish it.
그러니까 끝내려고 계획했지.
We know more about the painting than what Freya actually got down on the canvas.
뭘까? 팔레트?
Freya prepared all the colors she was going to need before she started painting.
뭐지? 어머니의 그림을 그리고 노란 건가? 노란 게 안 보이긴 한데. 이건가? 창문에 앉아있던 거.
Yellow paint was going to be
맞았네요.
used to paint this sketch of something sitting in the window.
Something in the window. Oh.
뭐지? 노란 새 한 마리? 뭐야? 갑자기 새 나왔어요.
There she is,
소름.
our little thief.
How long has it been there? Did it hear the whole conversation?
그래.
She did.
뭐야? 깜짝 놀랐네.
But she's a very good listener.
깜짝 놀랐어. 그러니까 나도 놀랐어. 탐정님, 당신이 범인이죠?
Well, now, I think this has quite served its purpose, don't you?
뭐야?
Penny, why did you...
It's Penelope, if you don't mind. But before we begin, isn't there a certain formality
반전.
demanding our attention?
어떻게 이거 묶어봐라. 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 일단 묶어. 그래, 묶어. 뭘로 묶지? 감개.
Lovely. Now, tell me, what was it that drove you this far?
근데 상상도 못했네.
I'm ever so curious.
진실을 추구합니다.
I just
탐정은
need to know the
진실을
truth.
추구하죠.
Is that right? Interesting.
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
그러니까
Absolutely nothing.
So, what? You just hated her indiscriminately?
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of a great energy, the volition to create something from nothing, the willpower to walk beyond her boundaries. She was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
내가 가질 수 없었던 것이.
You know what? I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, 3 times now?
Exactly. How do we know this one isn't a disguise too?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you? Only a few short hours at Tangle Tower. And you feel like you've got everyone sussed. Unearthed every single one of our secrets. Nothing but bullet points for your notebook.
그렇게
Go
하죠.
on, indulge me. What does it say in your notes about Penelope Pointer?
외로운 사람입니다.
I suppose I can't argue with that, can I?
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us. So why not help us out?
Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all. She pales in comparison to those who came before her and to those that came after. Living at
뭐지?
Tangle Tower, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
You sure this is a Tangle Tower thing and not a you thing?
그러니까.
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy. Not one.
그렇게 좋은 곳은 아니었나
So
보네요.
why stay?
탱글타워가.
Why not just leave?
I
그러니까.
thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
I did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me. You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall,
네.
did you not?
Yeah, it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A bunch of people who don't live here anymore. I couldn't
설마
have put
죽었나?
it better myself. My mother, for one. My father,
아,
too.
그냥 도망간 거 맞구나.
The other two Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose. And her brother, Richard.
And Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
And that was the first question I wanted answered.
You wanted to know
그러니까 어디로
where
갔어요?
they'd all gone?
More than that, I wanted to know if I belonged with them. I have no place here. Not among the Fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers. But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left. Some common purpose they all shared. Perhaps it could be my purpose too.
그럼 왜 죽었지? 그래도?
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do at first. Nobody would tell me anything. The more questions I asked, the fewer answers I got. Then I found it. I was 19. Same age
오.
Freya is now.
Found what?
4년 전이네. 5년 전. 다락방? 다락방
The
같아?
attic.
Wait, I'm confused.
이거 아니야?
Then I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya is now.
Found what?
연구실.
The study. The one hidden in the middle of the house. It's right next to her bedroom.
I'd hear voices at night, deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot.
아, 그래서
For hours on
그랬구나.
end.
아까 전에 뭐 뜨뜻하다 그랬었는데.
Peel, wallpaper wouldn't stay up. I thought I was cursed. I thought it was something trying to break through. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I found my way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there, it's simple.
So, you got into the study and found the incinerator. That must have been a relief, right?
It was still warm when I found it. Then, I looked inside.
뭐야? 미스티 절대.
Let's see how thorough you've been. Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
Misted?
미스티. 뭐죠?
What?
As I expected. After all, their connection to the Freya case is minimal, at least at the surface.
그러니까 아까 전에 다섯
Sorry,
가문 뭐 그거 나와서
what are we
그건가?
talking about?
사진에 있던 거?
It's a collective term from before my time. Birds, insects, amphibians,
그게 아니구나.
anything living off the lake water. The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
Wait, mistids. Like cryptids? Like Bigfoot
아,
or
약간
whatever.
A
줄임말이구나.
little egregious, isn't it? I suspect that was an intentional parallel. The main
미스터리
difference
어찌고
being
저찌고 막
mistids
약간
are
그런
perfectly
느낌.
real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan. As it happened, some got out. Quite a few got out.
How do you know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones.
뭐야? 이거 아니야?
That's not it.
어잉? 이건가? 연구물?
That's not right.
노트.
That's not right.
이거?
That's not right.
이거야.
That's not right.
이건가? 마지막은 이건데?
The 5 missing family members standing together as a single unit, calling themselves the ambassadors of Misted
이분이
Mansion.
약간
So,
창업
the house was
하시는 뭐 그런
renamed
느낌.
from Misted Mansion to Tangle Tower?
And rightly so. The age of Misted Mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first visit to the study, I found nothing but ash. The afterimage of a bygone era denied to me in its entirety. The study, the room at the bottom of the lake itself, all empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them, maybe they'd share the family history that Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
How did you track them down?
어떻게 추적했어요?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts, the creatures themselves, all lost, taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
And? What happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They didn't help you either, did they?
그러니까.
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission, a unified purpose, but they hadn't. They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mystics. Some claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All 5 completely useless to me.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to Tangle Tower.
그러니까.
I had nowhere else to go. I considered giving up. But instead, I made a decision. There was only one person at Tangle Tower still of interest to me. My dear Uncle Pointer had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy. A fairly superficial charade.
역시
I don't
빵댕이
think many people
흔든
were
이유가
fooled by
있었어.
it.
다
But I knew it
쇼였어.
wasn't just a falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something from the era
그렇게
of
흔들어
Mr.
대더니
Mansion.
그게 다 쇼였다니. 이건가?
That's not right.
응? 이건가?
That's not it.
미스틱에서 미스틱을 이거
That's not it.
노트일까?
That's not it.
이거야.
That's not it.
아 뭐야 도대체. 뭘까요? 이건가? 아 이거다.
So where did he get the beetle?
I cannot be sure. But I theorized that he received it in the post.
이거 우편물로
In the
받았다고?
post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangle Tower. But the thought that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, I decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it.
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step. Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his
딸
niece.
위에는 별로
He
잘
told
안
me
되지.
he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost. Perhaps it had been stolen. He was very ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft. When I offered to call in a private detective, he jumped on the idea. She arrived the next day. Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though? Why go through all that? The name, the costume, and everything?
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had little use left for Penny Pointer as she was. Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Ah, well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw
교수님을
explained
별로 안
she needed
좋아하시네.
to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly, but still.
So, you stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
Ha! It carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to gold. But it's not the 90% I'm interested in. Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique? Before Misted Mansion was built over the lake, before the lake was even a lake, Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly. Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator.
다 태웠대.
However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed.
꼴보기.
It's not much, but I have what I need.
So, why isn't this the end of the story? Why did you stay? Why did you kill Freya?
그러니까 왜 죽였어? 왜 죽였어? 왜 죽이셨냐고요?
Simply put, Freya was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking
소리야?
about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya painted?
그건 알죠. 이거잖아요.
That almost makes sense, but it's not right.
이거 아니에요? 그러면 이거겠죠?
That's not right.
빨간 그림? 아,
That's right. I had assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered it was a figure of some kind, something from Freya's recurring nightmare.
응.
For all her vitality, I think Freya was probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangle Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the beetles. She has a fondness for them. What Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free Fiona. The real reason Freya was unable to leave Tangle Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her. We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangle Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all three families, and perhaps, somehow, free Fiona from the shackles of her inheritance. That was her plan anyway, but something happened. Before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study, found your notes, found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
Freya had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
그래서 정했네.
But why hide in the attic? And why bother with the beetle at all?
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya. It was for Flora. She didn't deserve to be involved. She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of the room, but if she could be unconscious,
의식이 없는 상태.
then she wouldn't have to witness anything.
Why the knife? The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I suppose. Gave them something to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them, initially. Worked on you too.
맞아요.
So why are you still here? Why not take your first chance and leave?
Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back. I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait, it's still here?
It's still inside the gramophone.
뭐야? 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 뭐지? 뭐야? 어? 어? 뭐 다 기절했는데? 오잉? 오잉?
What's going on?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see.
You two all right?
My head hurts. What happened to us?
You were both unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle? In the gramophone? I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
그 딱정벌레가
So how did we
그거였나
get
보네요.
down here? What happened to Penny?
Fitz saved both of you, obviously.
When I reached Flora's tower, you were both unconscious, and Penny was crouched down beside you. She had her crossbow on her, but who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her. Apparently, they were pretty close to solving it themselves.
Fitz did not want to believe us because he liked Penny a lot.
But what happened? Fitz, what did she do when she saw you?
She jumped out the window.
What? Did she survive?
She did.
I heard something land in the garden outside my room.
아니
By the
말이
time I
돼?
got out
거기서
there to
떨어졌는데
check,
살았다고?
she was already gone.
Hang on. Poppy, why do you have Penny's hat bird?
She left him behind. I found him sitting on the
Qué
floor in the
furioso.
aviary, all by himself. Poor little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she didn't.
I apologize. Poppy seems to be under the illusion that the bird can understand human language.
So, Penny got away.
I'm afraid she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape. I was stationed here by the lake's edge. I proved to be an ineffective guard. She took the boat.
Did she take the beetle with her?
Nope,
How do you know?
because it's right here.
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
저
Poppy,
딱정벌레 때문에.
what are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No, I'm not. It doesn't belong to anyone. So, I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again. I
딱정벌레
think that's what she would have wanted.
방생됐어. 뭐야? 이러고 끝나? 이게 엔딩이야? 뭔가 찝찝한데? 엔딩 하나인 것 같은데? 멀티 엔딩이라는 소리 못 들었었어요 이거. 이거 약간 후편 하려고 한 거 아니에요 이 정도면? 그쵸? 이게 끝이라니 정말 그러니까 근데 생각보다 좀 길었는데요 오늘? 그쵸? 약간 길었어 뭔가 금방 끝날 것 같았는데 좀 오래 걸렸다는 느낌. 뭐야 날아갔다. 이거 뒤로 갈수록 오히려 배경이 막 무서워가지고 쫄아가지고 헉, 뭐야 이거 어떡해 와 이러고 있었어 거의. 그래 재밌었다. 뭐 이런 것도 있네요. 원래 이게 컨셉 아트였대. 이게 뭐야? 이게 뭐? 근데 컨셉 아트 처음에 좀 약간 아저씨 같았네요. 뭐야 이 사람은 그림원은 약간 좀 뭐라 그래야 되지? 간사해 보이는데 되게? 지금이 훨씬 낫다. 셀리는 약간 비슷했대요. 비슷했어. 빵댕이 아저씨. 아니 빵댕이 아저씨 이거 뭐야? 아니 빵댕이 아저씨 왜 이래? 왜 이렇게 만들었어? 빵댕이 아저씨. 이거는 약간 그거 같지 않아요? 그 강철 연금술사의 그 히메라 막 다룬 아저씨 있잖아요. 아닌가? 약간 좀 사악하게 생겼어요. 오. 이분은 첫 컨셉이 좀 그래도 얼추 비슷하긴 했네요. 오, 뭐 이렇게 아트 같은 거 보여주네요. 퍼피. 퍼피는 처음이 더 나왔을 수도 있겠는데? 오, 그쵸. 처음이 더 나왔는데? 점점 갈수록, 이거 완전 무서운데, 이거? 뭐야, 프레이야, 이게 뭐야? 프레이야, 어디 갔어, 이거? 거의 아주머니 됐는데, 약간? 아주머니 됐어. 허크쇼크는 비슷비슷하긴 해요. 근데 약간 눈이 없는 거에서 그런 걸로 바뀌었나 봐. 피피. 뭐야 이게? 이거 뭐야 이거? 오른쪽 맨 밑에 이게 뭐야 이게? 뭐 눈이 늘어나 이거? 약간 징그러운데? 약간 거의 매드 사이언티스트 아니에요 이 정도면? 플로라. 플로라 약간 할머니인데? 그래도 이거 쪽이랑 비슷하네요. 진짜 약간 할머니 컨셉. 마지막. 오? 어? 이거 뭐야 이거? 참. 그래도 재밌었다. 재밌지 않았어요? 끝.